Evolution means an orderly change from one condition to another. It is believed that chemical evolution was replaced by organic or biological evolution. Organic evolution is a process of cumulative change of living population and in the descendant population of organisms. Therefore, evolution also refers to genetic change in populations of organisms through time that led to different among them. The term was proposed by Charles Darwin that signifies descent with modifications. That is, the present complex plant and animals have evolved from earlier simpler forms of life by gradual changes. Evolution is an extremely slow process, and most of it took place in the past. Except for a few specific instances, it is difficult to test this theory in practice. However, these points do not make the theory of evolution invalid because there is plenty of evidences to show that it took place in the past and the process is continuing now. Important evidences in favor of evolution are morphological and anatomical evidences, embryological evidences, paleontological evidences, cytological evidences, and biochemical evidences. Morphological and anatomical evidence. These are the proofs of interrelationship between living organisms of different groups based on the comparative studies of external and internal morphology. These are the following types. First one in that homologous organs. The structure which are different in appearance and perform different functions but have similar basic structure and developmental origin. For example, four limbs of vertebrates like seal, bird, bat, horse, man, cat's paw, etc. look different and perform different functions. Four limbs in seal appears as flipper. In bird, it appears as wing. In bat, it appears as supporting patagium. In horse, it appears as elongated. And in human, it appears as thumb opposite to fingers. Each of them are having specific functions like flippers help in swimming, wings and patagium help in flying, elongated limbs in running, and thumb in grasping. But even then, all these are homologous organs because these are built on the same pentadactyl plan, that is 5-digital plan, though modified differently to perform different functions and involve reduction in the number of digits, fusion of some bones, etc. These show similar arrangement of structures like bones, blood vessels, muscles, nerves, etc. The upper arm consists of a bone called humerus. The forearm has two bones, that is, radius and ulna. The wrist has carpals, palm has metacarpals, and fingers has phalanges in all of them. So these bones are derived from the same part of the body, that is from the mesoderm. This relationship between the structures having common basic plan and similar developmental origin is called homology, although these structures might have diverged due to their specific function. Presence of homologous organs confirm first one, common ancestry and interrelationship. Second one, divergent evolution. due to adaptive radiations. That is, same structures have become different in different organisms due to different adaptations. Second one, comparative anatomy of heart of vertebrates. Heart in different vertebrates are similar not only in their position, general organization, and even microscopic structures, but also show gradual complexity in its internal structure from fishes to mammals. It is two-chamber, venous and branchial with single circulation in fishes, three-chamber and enterovenous, pushing mixed blood in amphibians. It is structurally three-chambered but with incompletely partitioned ventricle in the reptiles and four-chambered with completely partitioned ventricle in the birds and mammals. This shows that heart in all the groups of vertebrates has same basic structural plan, which proves their interrelationship and common ancestry. The gradual complexity of heart in the vertebrate series is due to number 1, transition from aquatic to terrestrial mode of life, change of mode of respiration from bronchial to pulmonary, number 3, for separation of oxygenated and deoxygenated blood. This confirms that the heart of vertebrates have changed in the course of evolution of mammals from fishes. Similarly, next example, the brain of different vertebrates of homologous organs but show gradual complexity from fishes to humans. Fourth one, legs and mouth parts of insects. Fifth one, thorns of bougainvillea and tendrils of cucurbita are also homologous organs. Homology is seen amongst molecules is called molecular homology. For example, proteins found in blood of man and ape are similar. The phylogeny of an organism can be traced by using the base sequence in nucleic acids and amino acid sequence of proteins in related organisms. Second evidence, analogous organs. The organs which are different in their basic structure and developmental origin but appear similar and perform similar function are analogous organs. This relationship between structures of different groups of animals of separate lineage due to their similar function is called analogy or convergent evolution or adaptive convergence. Examples for this, the first one, insect and bird wing. These are different in basic anatomical framework and origin. For example, insect wing is formed from integument while the bird wing is a modified forelimb, but are analogous organs as both are flat structures and are adapted for flight. Even the wings of bird and wings of bats are analogous structures. Number 2, example. Both trachea of an insect and lungs of vertebrates are adapted for respiration but are not homologous as trachea are ectodermal in origin while the lungs are endodermal in origin. Number 3, potato tuber and sweet potato. Both are underground fleshy structures adapted for storage of food and vegetative reproduction but are analogous structures as potato tuber is an underground stem while sweet potato is fleshy adventitious root. Number 3, in the morphological and anatomical evidence is the connecting links. The living organisms having the characters of two different taxonomic categories are called connecting links. Example, first one, Protopterus, also called lungfish. It is a connecting link between bony fish in having paired fins, dermal scales, lateral line system and gills, and amphibians in having internal nares, lungs and three-chambered heart. Example number 2, Ornithorhynchus, that is called duck-billed platypus, and Tachyglossus, that is called spiny anteater. Both are egg-laying mammals. These act as connecting links between mammals in having hair, diaphragm, mammary glands, etc., and reptiles in having large coracoid, being oviparous, laying shelled and polylecical eggs, and having cloaca. So, the prototherians are commonly called unfinished mammals. Number 3 example, Spinodon, a primitive reptile with amphibian character. So example, Amphicoelus vertebrate. So Melanoglossus, between chordates and non-chordates. Number 5, Chimera, also known as rabbit fish. It is the link between cartilage and bony fish. Number 6, Peripatus. It is also called walking worm. It is the connecting link between annelids and arthropods. Number 7, Coelacanth. So it is the connecting link between bony fishes and amphibians. 8th example, Proterospongia. It is connecting link between protozoa and sponges. And the 9th example, Neopilina. It is the connecting link between annelids and mollusks. 4th one, in the morphological and anatomical evidences, that is vestigial organs. The vestigial or rudimentary organs are useless remains of structures or organs that might have been large and functional in the ancestor. Vestigial organs in man are coccyx, that is also called tailbone. It is a small triangular bone formed by fusion of 4 reduced caudal vertebrae and present at the end of the sacrum. It became vestigial due to bipedal gait and sitting posture of man. Number 2, nictitating membrane, also known as third eyelid or plica semilunaris. It is thin, transparent and freely movable fold that is moved to clean cornea in frog, in pigeon, in apes, etc. It is vestigial in man as the cornea is cleaned by regular blinking of eyelids. Number 3, cecum and vermiform appendix. These are very long-sized in herbivores like rabbit, horse, etc. and have symbiotic bacteria that secrete cellulose enzyme, usually called cellulase enzyme, to digest the cellulose part of the plant food. These organs are vestigial in man as cellulose of the plant food is simplified during the process of cooking. So there is no need of symbiotic digestion of cellulose. Vestigial organs in plants. Leaves are reduced to scales in cuscuta, in asparagus, in ruscus. So these are the vestigial. Cutin covered stomata on stems of cactus plants, non-functional flagella on cycad spawns that are passively transported to the egg cells. So these are the vestigial organs in plants. Now let us go for the vestigial organs in other animals. First one, splint bones. So these are vestigial second and fourth digits of forelimb as well as hind limb in horse, that is Icus, due to cursorial mode of locomotion. Second one, vestiges of hind limbs and pelvic girdles. For example, femur and ilium in snakes like python and sand boas due to fossorial living and creeping locomotion. This proved evolution of snakes from limbed ancestors. Number 3. Vestiges of hind limbs and pelvic girdle bones. For example, femur and ischium inside the body of Greenland whales, showing evolution of whales from the limbed ancestors. These have completely disappeared in other whales. Number 5, that is the fifth evidence in anatomical and morphological evidence, is atavism or reversion. It is reappearance or refunctioning of some ancestral organs which have either completely disappeared or are present as vestigial organs. Some examples for atavism are: first one, birth of a human baby with a small tail. Second one, development of power of moving pinna in some persons. Third one, long and dense hair. Fourth one, presence of additional mammae in some human beings. Fifth one, appearance of homodont dentition in many aquatic mammals. Sixth one, reduced leaflets of a trifoliate leaf of citrus which become unifoliate with winged petiole. Second evidence, that is embryological evidences which proves evolution. These are evidences based on comparative developmental studies of embryos of various animals. Some examples for embryological evidences are: first one, similar early development. All triploblastic animals from flatworms to mammals show similar early developmental processes like cleavage, blastulation and gastrulation to transform one-celled zygote into a three-layered gastrula larva. Gastrula has three primary germ layers, that is ectoderm, mesoderm and endoderm. These germ layers form similar structure in various animals. This shows their common ancestry. Second one, similar vertebrate embryos. The early embryos of the vertebrates like fish, salamander, tortoise, chick, rabbit and human being resemble one another so closely that it becomes difficult to distinguish them. These are similar in having similar form and structures like gill clefts, notochord, tail, eye and ear rudiments, etc. Notochord is replaced by vertebral column. Third one, temporary embryonic structures. The embryos of certain animals have some temporary structures which disappear or reduce before hatching or birth. For example, young one of bird with egg tooth, though tooth is not required, as embryo feeds upon soft yolk absorbed with vitelline blood vessels, but repeats the ancestral characters. This indicates that birds are glorified reptiles, which means that birds have evolved by the modification of toothed reptiles, but teeth are lost to reduce the body weight for flight. The presence of egg tooth in their embryos confirm the repetition of ancestral characters. Recapitulation theory. It was proposed by Von Baer, stated that the generalized features like brain, spinal cord, axial, skeleton, aortic arches, etc., that are common to all the vertebrates appeared earlier than the special features like hairs in mammals, feathers only in birds, etc., which distinguish various vertebrates that appeared later. Later, recapitulation theory was modified as biogenetic law by Ernst Haeckel. It states that ontogeny repeats phylogeny, which means that an individual during its own development, that is ontogeny, passes through the ancestral history, that is phylogeny, in an abbreviated form. Thus, the phylogenetic relationship is well exhibited in the embryology. For example, presence of fish characters like gills, gill slits, tail with tail fin, lateral line sense organs, etc. in the tadpole larva of frog. It also shows that the evolution there is trend of moving of life from water to land. Third evidence, biogeographical evidence. Biogeography is the pattern of distribution of animals and plants in different parts of the earth. It shows the evolutionary interrelationship between living organisms. On the basis of distribution of plants and animals on the earth, A.R. Wallace divided the earth into 6 biogeographic realms. They are Paleoarctic, Oriental, Ethiopian, Australian, Neo-Arctic and Neotropical. These realms are separated from one another by major barriers like sea, desert, mountains. It is believed that around the Carboniferous period or slightly earlier, all the present day continents were in the form of a single big land mass called Pangaea. Later on, due to various geological changes, tectonic movements, huge land masses broke off and drifted apart from one another. These land masses became different continents that got separated from one another by barriers. For example, sea, which prevented the free movement of organisms. Each of the continents formed had different environmental conditions. Hence, plants and animals also evolved differently. Biogeographical evidences can be discussed under the following headings. The first one, discontinuous distribution of closely related species. Sometimes closely related similar species exist at widely separated places without any representative in intervening territory. This is called discontinuous distribution. For example, alligators. They occur only in southeastern United States and eastern China. The North American continent was connected with East Asia in early Cenozoic era. The alligators were distributed over the entire region, but due to certain barriers, the alligators of two regions were separated for long time and developed some mutations. Therefore, these alligators are somewhat different, but they are related species of the same genus. Second example, lungfishes. During early stages of continental drift, South America, Africa, Antarctica, and Australia were interconnected. Later on, they were separated. Antarctica was shifted to a faraway place. Now, the lungfishes are only found in South America, Africa, and Australia. Second evidence in the biogeographical evidences is restricted distribution. When some unique organisms are confined in some parts of the world due to their habitat isolation, it is called restricted distribution. For example, monotremes or egg-laying mammals occur only in Australia. Marsupials, the poached mammals, are exclusively found in Australia, New Zealand, and South America. This restricted distribution of monotremes and marsupials is explained on the basis that Australia, New Zealand, and South America were once continuous with the mainland of Asia but got separated in late Cretaceous period before the appearance of carnivorous eutherian mammals. Placental mammals, being more adapted, eliminated monotremes and most marsupials on Asian mainland. But the primitive mammals of Australia survived as placental mammals could not reach there because of no land connections. Placental mammals evolved in Asia along different lines and in South America, while Australia marsupials also diversified along different lines. Third one, adaptive radiation or divergent evolution. Development of different functional structures from common ancestral form is called adaptive radiation. Homologous organs show adaptive radiation or divergent evolution. For example, first one, Darwin's finches of Galapagos Island. Finches found in different islands of Galapagos have different types of modified beaks due to different feeding habits, but had common ancestor. Common ancestral seed-eating ground finches radiated to different geographical areas and adopted different feeding habits, so developed different types of beaks. Second one, Australian marsupials. Marsupials, that is poached mammals, survived, flourished, and evolved along different lines by divergent evolution. Third one, adaptive radiation in mammals. Adaptive radiation in mammals is based on limb structure and type of locomotion. The primitive common ancestor was a land animal like modern shrews with short five-toed plantigrade limbs, that is adapted for walking type of locomotion with no specific specialization. From this stem mammal, various modern types of mammals have evolved by the modification of limbs and other structures adapted to a wide variety of habitats. Fourth one, adaptive convergence, that is convergent evolution. Development of similar adaptive functional structures in unrelated groups of organisms is called adaptive convergence or convergent evolution. For example, wings of insect, bird, and bat show marked convergent evolution. Second one, Australian marsupials and placental mammals show convergent evolution. Example, placental wolf and Tasmanian wolf marsupial. Anteaters such as spiny anteater and scaly anteater belong to different orders of class Mammalia, not closely related but have acquired similar adaptations for diets of ants, termites, and other insects. Parallel evolution. When convergent evolution is found in closely related species, it is called parallel evolution. For example, development of running habit in deer and horse with two vestigial splint bones. Tasmanian wolf is a marsupial while wolf is a placental mammal. This also shows parallelism. Paleontological evidences. The fourth evidence in the evolution. The fossils are the petrified remains and are impression of hard parts of the ancient organisms that are generally preserved in the sedimentary rocks. Sedimentary rocks are nothing but which are formed at the sea floor by gradual deposition of soil particles in layer after layer and are richest in fossils. So, or other media like volcanic ash, ice, peat bogs, sand, mud, resins, etc. These conditions cut off oxygen and prevent decay. These may also be formed from an impression of body part, for example, footprint, or organic molecules, for example, oil, or even coprolite, that is, preserved excreta, etc. So, fossil is an organic relic of the past life. Missing links. These are those extinct organisms that had the characters of two different groups of animals and confirm the path of evolution between these groups. For example, Archaeopteryx. It is also called lizard bird. It is a missing link between reptiles and birds. Reptilian characters of Archaeopteryx includes: first one, presence of similar teeth in jaws, each finger ending into a claw, a long tail with free caudal vertebrae, presence of keelless sternum, and non-pneumatic bones. The avian characters of Archaeopteryx includes presence of feathers on the body, rounded cranium with intimate fusion of bones, four limbs modified into wings and have only 3 fingers, presence of 4 toes in each foot and adapted for perching as in the birds, and presence of furcula, wishbone, jaws modified into beak. Second example for missing link, that is pterodosporums. These are missing links between ferns and gymnosperms. They showed secondary growth and seed habit. Distribution of fossils in different strata of rocks. It showed that there is geological succession of fossils from earliest to recent rocks. Different aged rock sediments contain different life forms who probably died during the formation of the particular sediment. Different classes of vertebrates appear chronologically in the fossil records. Fossil fishes predate all other vertebrates, with amphibian next, followed by reptiles and then birds and mammals. The fossils showed following changes in the geological succession. First one, become more numerous. Second one, progressed from simple to more complex forms. Third one, many transitional forms have been discovered that link old fossils to modern species. For example, fossils of various pre-human and human types, which shows the changes in shape and size of skull during the evolution of man. Fossils studies showed that plants and animals that existed in the past were different from their related living forms. This proves that living organisms are mutable or mutatable. The fifth evidence for evolution is biochemical evidence. The evidences based on similar biochemical reactions are called biochemical evidences. For example, similarities in proteins, genes, etc. So, one by one, let us go for the examples. First example, enzymes. Similar enzymes of different animals are similar in their chemical nature and mode of action. Second, hormones. Similar hormones of different vertebrates are similar in their chemical nature, target organ and mode of action. For example, hormone insulin produced from beta cells of pancreas and always stimulate glycogenesis in the liver of all the organisms. Third one, cytochrome C. This is an electron carrier protein found in the electron transport system of mitochondria of all living organisms. Its amino acid sequence was determined by R.E. Dickerson in 1972 in a different organism. He noticed that variations in amino acid sequence prove phylogenetic relationship. Fourth one, blood and lymph. The components of blood and lymph and their functions are similar in different vertebrates. Fifth one, excretion. Physiology of excretion also confirms evolution. For example, the adult frog is ureotelic in excretion, while its tadpole larva shows amonotelism like fishes. Second one, the young of a bird is first amonotelism, then ureotelic, and finally it became uricotelic. The complexity of nitrogenous wastes increases with the evolutionary process. The repeating of ancestral mode of excretion during the development of an organism is called biochemical recapitulation. The last evidence, that is cytological evidences for evolution. All the living organisms are similar in being. First one, cellular in nature and are formed of one or more cells. Second one, presence of similar organelles having similar ultrastructure and functions. Third one, in all, the cells are formed of similar material called protoplasm having similar physical, chemical and biological properties. Fourth one, basic metabolic cellular functions are performed in a similar way. All these evidences support that all the organisms are interrelated and have common ancestry. These similarities between living organisms at the molecular level is called molecular homology. These similarities confirm the relationship of all organisms and show their descendants from a common stock.